My name is Zeina Badran. I'm an artist printmaker based in Beirut, between Beirut and Riyadh. To explain our printmaking, you have to know that there are four major types of printmaking. First, we have the intaglio. This is an Italian name, which means the print will take the ink from under the surface of the matrix. It includes the dry point etching, the aquatint, the soft ground and hard ground etchings. There are so many techniques that you can do in intaglio. The second major type is the relief. Relief printing is like linoleum, plates, woodcut, and collagraph. Okay, and you have the lithography, the third major type, and the silkscreen. And basically, these are the four major types.
In the section of intaglio, you listed several techniques. What is common to most of those different types of intaglio? What is common?
Yeah. The common thing is that the print takes the ink from under the surface.
Okay, the ink is applied on the surface and it's not
removed.
Yeah.
What remains is the ink in the grooves that you etched, either by hand or by the acid.
So it's not relief?
No.
It's grooves?
No. Yeah.
For instance, if I'm holding this piece of zinc.
To give you an idea.
Yeah.
This is a zinc plate. Okay. I did the etching first, and then the aquatint.
How can you explain to me what you mean when you say aquatint?
Okay.
Technically.
Aquatint is when you make tints in the print. The tint, you get it with burning in acid. Okay. The acid reaction between zinc and nitric acid gives you the tinting. Okay, I will explain to you briefly the technique, okay? This is what I teach in AUB and LEU. In aquatint, you put something to protect the surface. It's called varnish. And then you engrave into the varnish.
Okay.
You draw it with a needle.
So to an extent, you're like...
You just scrape the varnish, so you expose the zinc to the acid. After you engrave, you put it in acid solution. You put it in the solution, and the acid will make a reaction with the zinc, and it will engrave all the lines that you engraved on the zinc plate.
Okay.
And you will get your image on the zinc plate. Okay, second step, you want to tint the image to develop it. So you use again the varnish and the acid. First, of course, you cover the white areas that you don't want to change with the varnish. Okay. It's like liquid, and you use your brush as if you're painting. Okay. So you paint the white areas. And then you cannot put it in acid without any protection because it will engrave the whole surface. So you have to spray it. Spray it with the resin or paint spray that's acid resistant. The resin will make minute particles on the surface, which are acid resistant. So when you put it in the acid will etch in between the pits. And then you cover the light gray areas so that they won't change, and you put it again in acid. You cover the darker until you reach the black.
Okay. The longer it is exposed to the acid,
the darker
it gets.
Of course. You put it for half an hour, half a minute, you will get light gray. You put it 1 minute, darker gray, until you reach the black. And then you remove the whole thing with the thinner and begin making additions. And there are many tools to edit the plate. We have the burnisher, which is very important in etching, and the scraper. You can make changes or adjustments because you never know what the acid have done to your plate. Then if you want to print it, you apply the etching ink. The etching ink has a very special consistency.
Okay.
It's very, very saturated and sticky. And the application of print and the way you remove the print, the ink, is very, very important. It determines the quality of the print and the darkness, the highlights. And you print it on the etching press, and you get your image on the paper. Okay. هلا بنحط البلانكت. يلا على الشغل.
I would like to go back to the list of techniques that you just listed within the intaglio.
The dry point, for example.
Okay.
Okay, you can make dry point on any surface. Acetate, plastic surface. You can make it on a Tetra Pak.
Any cardboard.
Packaging paper, the liquid packaging
so instead,
paper.
So instead of
because it has
this,
very thin
it has aluminum within it.
A thin aluminum with a carton وهيك, and you get amazing results.
I like that.
And
so you have taken the cover, the package of a candiale,
yes,
and you've used it as a surface.
Yes.
It has to be a container of liquid. A cardboard
because it
container
has
of liquid.
This aluminum layer.
Okay, and what does this layer aluminum help you in?
It can be etched easily, and it takes ink many techniques.
So this is a piece that you have scraped?
Yes.
Okay. And then you printed it here?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway,
this is very handy.
Yes.
for experimenting.
Yeah, exactly. When you are a printmaker, you are willing to experiment endlessly. Yeah.
So when you said dry point in this case, you did not apply acid?
No.
acid.
It's directly etched with a needle.
Okay. But just give us also an idea about the difference between what we just explained.
Yeah.
Grooving, scraping, grooving, scraping, and carving. And now we're talking about relief.
The relief printing is more sculptural because it has a certain depth. Okay, and usually the print takes the ink from the surface, not the engraved areas. For example, this is the linoleum. Okay, and you carve it with special material. They are like small chisels, V-shaped and U-shaped.
Like caoutchouc? Huh?
Yes, it's a synthetic. And it's very easily carved, and it's very direct. The image will be flat. There's no grays or red, unless if you want to make many colors, each color needs a different plate. After you engrave it, you apply the ink by the roller, and then transfer the ink to the paper, either by hand or the press. So you can do it at home, and you don't need an etching press. And also the linoleum can be printed on T-shirts, bags, pillows. It's very handy. Okay, and then you print them, and the important thing is registration, so that they come in the right place. The color comes in the right place. في registration, هيدي مخليها ثابتة. You print one color, you remove it, you bring the other color, you print it, and so on until you develop your image on this paper. This is the linoleum. The wood differs because you have the strains of the wood. They show on the print, which is very nice. And it's the oldest engraving medium. It started in the Far East.
So the skill in relief should be basically someone that is proficient in carving, true? To know to what extent.
And it needs a lot of patience and strength. Because I told you, it's like you're making a sculpture. It's a bit sculpture.
So you're sculpting the image.
Exactly.
In the case of intaglio, it's you're drawing it.
Yeah.
It's easier. I don't want to say easier, but I mean
does the
everyone
job. The acid does the job.
The acid does the job. Now we will be speaking about lithography.
Yes, lithography is a major part of printmaking. It is basically made on stones, limestones that come from Italy, and they are very thick because every time you make an image, you have to grind them to make the new image. Basically, you cover the edges, you protect them of the limestone with gum Arabic, Arabic gum. So you start with drawing your image on the stone, okay? It's very practical because the lithographic material comes in liquid and in sticks. So in liquid you can brush, make your brushwork, and in the sticks you can draw. After you finish your drawing, you fix this with a chemical, and after it's fixed, you remove everything and it will be engraved on the stone, on the surface of the stone. The important thing about the lithography is when you ink it with a huge roller and you ink the whole stone. But the ink is taken only by the engraved areas.
Okay.
So, while you're inking, you are at the same time sponging with ample amount of water. So ink and water, the image gets the ink only in the engraved areas.
Okay.
And of course, if you have 2 or 3 colors, you need 2 or 3 stones, and they have to be registered in the right place.
And in your opinion,
Like in the case of
what is specific? Why would an artist use lithography? Sorry.
Exactly, it's very close to his own paintings. You know, that's why each artist choose the medium that's relevant and applicable for him.
To the nature of his art.
Exactly. So this is very, very close to his own paintings.
Because they're expressive, you mean?
Yeah, the gestural part.
This he cannot achieve with a dry point etching, which needs
exactly. And
patience.
You see, it has a beautiful effect.
So lithography allows the printmaker or the artist to apply like gestural.
Yes, of course.
Brush strokes.
Yeah. This is أيمن بعلبكي.
It's his style, his signature style.
Exactly.
And what about, what effect would the rolling of the ink give? I mean, the pressure applied.
No,
how do they control it?
No, the number of times you roll the ink. You put the ink on the roller, and then you ink the stone. At the same time, water. You ink it several times until you reach the black that you want to reach.
You just told me that if an artist wanted to apply color, add color to that, they have to work on another stone completely?
Of course, yeah.
How would they get the same image?
Like in this case, it's colored.
Yes.
You see, after I make the black, I have a stone that have the yellow and the stone that have the orange.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very important the registration is very important. I have other prints that are blurred, 1 millimeter would damage the print.
Would you allow space for, chance or accidents?
In the drawing, yes.
In the drawing,
but not in the technique.
Not in the application of the print itself.
Not in the technique.
We covered etching, intaglio, let's call it, relief. Lithography, and now we will speak about silkscreen.
Silkscreen is another way of printing. It's the process of passing the ink through a mesh, which is silk. First step, you have a frame, wooden frame, and then we put this kind of silk. The pores, they are very, very dense.
You stretch it on a board?
We stretch it very, very tight. Okay, this way and this way. And then to prepare the screen, you put your emulsion and then wait until it's dry. You print your image or your gestural lines, whatever they are, you print them in black on calc paper. And then you put them, in this case I put 4. Okay, you close it, you expose it to the UV light for 4 minutes, and then you remove it. You can't see anything unless you apply the very high pressure. The exposed areas will go away and the stopper will remain. So when you apply the ink, you put your paper or whatever, or canvas, you apply this ink, you apply it here, and then you خليني أعملها هيك.
Press it with a squeegee.
And you press it with a squeegee like this.
Okay.
The ink will pass through the pores to the paper, and you get everything you see. It's the most direct printing technique, because what you see is what you get.
So in the case of the Dia Azawi works here, how did the artist achieve such artistic...
Yeah, of course. Again, each color needs a different screen. There's the black, the yellow, orange, red, and the violet. Each color is painted alone.
Okay. And
the image of it will be printed on a calc paper, and the calc paper will be on the screen, and then each he decides about the colors. He juxtaposes them. There's a special thing about printmaking. Yani when you make printmaking, you are over your plate, and you make your techniques. There is something secretive about it and hidden, yani between you and the plate, like a child doing something. بالخفي يعني.
Secretive.
Secretive.
So there's this relationship between you and the plate.
There's a pleasure in it, and something very, very secretive.
Do you take decisions as you move, or you at the beginning you think of all the processes?
No, as you move. Yes.
I'd like to show you a body of work by the renowned Syrian-German artist Marwan Qasabbashi.
Yes, I know him.
And those are 99 prints. The title of this body of work is The 99 Heads.
Yeah.
I would like you to look into them and explain to us about the technique that
yes, I can see that some of them are dry point. This is definitely dry point. Okay, and this one is a series that are aqua tint. Aqua tint, because you can see here the areas of black and gray in addition to the lines. Okay.
So it seems from your explanation, from what I got, is that when you find like a clear contrast between the stomped or smudged black surfaces, it gives you the indication that it was
there's
treated
also
by
a
tint.
technique from the intaglio family called sugar lift, where you can get the effect of a brushwork, not only areas tinted. Okay, you mix the ink with powdered sugar. That's why it's called sugar lift.
Okay.
And you make it a solution. You paint with it, like you're painting your painting. Okay. And then when it's a bit dry, you cover it with the varnish. After the varnish is dry, you put it under water. The water dissolves the sugar, and the everything the strokes, the brush strokes, they are lifted away. So now you have your brushwork exposed to the ink. So you again spray it and put it in ink, and you get your brushworks printed on your.
Interesting.
There are brushworks here. They could be sugar lift. Okay.
Let's check other ones.
These are also, I can see brushworks.
Okay.
Yeah, because his paintings, I know his paintings. They are...
They're expressionist.
Yes, exactly.
Very gestural.
You can get these in prints also.
Okay.
This is, I think it's aqua tint also. There are no lines. هذه صعب اوكي واو beautiful beautiful it's really nice.
This is also tinted, true?
Yes. This is
this could be dry point.
This is the traditional Marwan.
Yes, the traditional
the
head.
face, yes, the head.
The landscape look.
This is dry point. Yeah.
Zeina, this is another body of work by also renowned Iraqi artist Dia Al-Azawi, and it is titled "We Are Not Seen But Corpses." نحن لا نرى إلا جثثا. It was created in 1983 as a reaction to the 1982 massacre of Sabra and Shatila. And as you just now, you were explaining, it's a huge
it's amazing, print work. Yes, it's an amazing print.
We have like 9 pieces. The whole body of this work is made out of 9 prints,
wow.
aqua tint. Tell me more about the technique and the significance.
It's very rare to see such a zinc plate size. It's more difficult in handling. You need the acid bath, that's a huge acid bath, and lifting it, inking it. But it's amazing, and it's very clear. He made the drawing etched by acid, but in lines, and then he developed it by aqua tint. Okay. Like I told you, he covers the white areas, and so put it in acid for a short time to get the light gray tones, and then cover the light gray tones to get darker and darker until he reaches this beautiful velvety black. It's an amazing piece. The details are
and check out
very
here.
Clear.
The white part is not, specified or contoured.
They don't have a contour. Yeah. They are made by a brush.
Here.
Yeah, they are made by a brush, as if you're painting. Yeah.
So he's applying the acid with a brush.
No.
No.
He's covering the white areas with a brush.
Okay.
Because the varnish is a liquid. You can
applying the varnish on the plate.
Exactly. And you can see the small dotted. It's the effect of the resin powder.
We'll talk about another example of aqua tint by another late renowned artist, Walid Abu Sha'ra, a Palestinian artist.
Yeah, these are amazing. Now this one is done by the technique that I told you about. So you protect the white areas first by dots, and then make the darker one. And then you cover them, and then until you reach the black.
I protect the white area with varnish.
For me, this is straightforward, the traditional aqua tint. But this has a lot of work. This has the atmosphere that I told you about, the secretive thing. I think he had here. There are sprays of varnish. Sometimes if you spray the varnish, you get the white spots. And the degradation is very difficult in aqua tint. I think he used some salts. I don't know if it's a copper plate. If it's a copper plate, he can make washes with salt and make the lights.
So the significance about this work is the ability to create those
the degradation and the light, yes.
Blacks, grays, and whites.
An amazing print.
This goes back to 1976. Were there any,
1976?
Yes. The techniques has improved with time, true or not?
No,
not necessarily.
When I teach my students, I teach them the technique that Goya made. Okay. It's still the same basic technique.
So in the case of printmaking, it doesn't have to...
It is a very old technique, and the basic technique is the same. But now, yes, we have lots of new medias. You can barely see the ingredient.